Hi, I'm Philip Singleton, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm very honored to be here in front of you today. I'm not a politician or from a political dynasty. Can you hear me? I said I'm not a politician. In fact, I wanted to just honor real quick, I know it's outside the norm, but my dad is here in the back, and I'm honored. He just retired this year from teaching in McIntosh High School, and I think we all want a round of applause. He's inspired me my whole life. Sorry, I got emotional. So on September 11th, I remember sitting in my college dorm room in downtown Atlanta. I was going to Georgia State and watching the Twin Towers fall. I remember the F-16s flying past our apartment headquarters as they shut down the airspace there in Atlanta. And a few days later, I remember watching President Bush give his speech standing on the rubble with the bullhorn, for those of you who remember the bullhorn speech. And on September 20th, I went in to the local office and I joined the United States Army. Thank you. So I spent the next 15 years as an attack helicopter pilot in the Army. I was blessed to serve with some of the greatest men and women I've ever known. I was able to lead men in Afghanistan for 2 tours and a tour in Iraq. I was fortunate enough to earn 2 Bronze Stars and 5 Air Medals for combat actions. And I brought all of my men home. I've served in North Korea, patrolling the DMZ. I've been blessed to train NATO and allied forces in Germany, the Joint Multinational Training Center, and help send them to defend our freedoms across the world. I got out as a major in 2017, and we moved back home here to Coweta in Fayette County, where we're from. With my young family in tow, my wife and our 4 kids, we decided that it was time to come back and focus on our family. But I still had a burning desire in my soul and in my spirit to continue to fulfill my oath to support and to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I'm here to tell you that our threat is not from a large military force internationally or an international terrorist organization. The greatest threat to our values is within. And it's not just the Democrats. There is an attack on our values from within our own party as well. So there's an attack on true conservatism. Okay? So we decided through a lot of prayer, years of prayer, that we would come home and we would defend our country. So I guess our 7 minutes is 3, so I got to be quicker. So here's what I stand for. I'm pro-life. I'm the only candidate that's endorsed by the Georgia Right to Life. I believe 100% that life begins at conception and ends at natural death. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I want to stop illegal immigration. I'm a Christian constitutional conservative. If you want to know what I believe, that best defines who I am. I believe in limited government, reducing regulations, lowering income taxes, school choice, and solutions for our veterans. And important for us here in Fayette, Coweta County, we are not Atlanta, and we want to preserve the character of our community. So I will stand with us to make sure that we keep MARTA out of Fayette, Coweta County, and that we defend and support what makes our communities great. In closing, this is why this election is important. Okay, we don't have forever to make these conservative things a reality. And Governor Kemp is working towards conservative values, but he needs support from real conservatives. And there's a difference between working with the establishment to achieve conservative objectives and working for the establishment. And it's important that we get up there and we support the governor and we get some of these conservative things passed while we still have time. It's poor Republican leadership and poor Republican performance that has caused us to be so close to being a Democrat state. It's not Democrats that are winning, it's Republicans that are losing. And we have to make sure that we defend our values and that we stand firm for what we believe. And I'm going to go up there, I will tell you right now that I am committed to integrity and coming and reporting back and doing what needs to be done against enemies on both sides of the aisle, but that I will work together with my cadre, my compatriots in the State House to make sure that we get some things done. It's one thing to say things, it's another thing to make sure that we legislate it. So I have my personal cell phone number is on all of our flyers. I get lots of calls and I enjoy them. So please reach out to us. You can send me an email or you can reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more. I know, this is not enough time to get to know the candidates. It's such a short time period. But I just thank you all for coming. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be invested in our nation, because that's what you're doing here today. We just really appreciate you. And it's great to see all those volunteer supporters out here. We love you guys, obviously, too. So God bless. Yes, ma'am. I talk too much, so I can only get 2 questions. RFRA, I completely support RFRA legislation. I think we need to model the legislation that was passed nationally. But I believe it's imperative that, RFRA, for those who aren't tracking, it's important that conservatives actually fight to protect our ability to practice our religion the way that we see fit. And I don't believe the government has any business coming in and telling us how we can or can't practice our faith. Yes, ma'am.
Common Core.
I do not support Common Core in any iteration. My dad's a teacher, so he's a lot smarter on the education system than I am. But there is no version, local control. It's important that my wife is a special needs paraprofessional at Lee Middle School. And she'll be the first to tell you that we need teachers at her level and at my dad's level making decisions for their students. And parents still have a responsibility based on our values. Our country's trying to take our country's trying to take control away from us as citizens and give it to the government. Okay? The only way we stop that is if we stop that. Our values are that those decisions should be made at the family level, the lowest level possible. In this case, that's why I support vouchers and school choice. Parents should make the decisions.
Can I incorporate that with, do you support vouchers?
I do, absolutely. Absolutely. I support anything that we can do at the federal and state and local levels to push. I think every decision should be pushed down to the lowest level possible. Government tends to think that that's them, and they're wrong. The lowest level possible is the individual, the family, and then your church community, and then your state, then your county government, and your state government, and so on and so forth. So at every opportunity with every legislation, we need to look, what's the lowest possible level we can push this down to, and I believe that's where the decision should reside.
Thank you.
Thank you.